Oh, turn the camera on. Yeah. I was going to make a physics video, but I was just too distracted by this video by Rebecca, Bonnyrebecca, Uglana Bistinky. It's just the whole thing is just so cotton candy. But just this white couch, just it just philosophically says so much. You're just about optimism bias and such. Just the idea of even the idea of you're going to buy a couch, white. Yeah, let's go for the white. I mean, the logic of it is just so littered or later or reeking of an optimism bias. Like, what are we going to use this couch for? Church meetings? You're certainly not going to ever eat a pizza on it or something, right? Ever. I mean, ever. There's going to be like a fence, dividing this section of the house off, right? It's just for looking at. It's not for living in. Yeah, I just think the subject is, do I want to have kids? Well, I don't really care what you want. The question's like veganism, right? She's supposed to be a vegan. Is, do you have a right? Do you have any logical grounds? No. So anyway, she's a minute 42 into the video and hasn't really got to the subject yet, so, it kind of has to do with that banana girl thingy and whatever, and D-Lander, whatever, and people talking about not having kids, but they're all doing it in mostly some sort of there's too many people on Earth kind of way, and blah blah blah. Nothing intrinsic about the fundamental function of life, which is difficult for most. And then even the idea of what you want to do with your life. What's a constructive activity? I was thinking of matadors and bullfighting, and I was saying, well, yeah, those people kind of sort of had to wake up to reality and say, oh, this is a lovely, silly tradition. Yeah, let's get over it. Yeah, this is stupid as fuck, and let's find something better to do with our brains and bodies than this. And you're saying, this is just so the pageant of life, not the living of life. This whole babies and white couches bullshit. Just has nothing. It's fairy tale drivel that has nothing to do with any kind of rational perspective, even. Again, from a vegan perspective, vegans are supposed to have some sort of thing called empathy or an ability to imagine. And where it just seems so void, in this kind of a silly conversation about the rewards of child raising, which is basically an experiment where you are doomed to some measure of failure, just absolutely doomed to it. It's an obstacle course you have to run, the creation of this thing, and you have to press the right buttons. Thousands of buttons you're going to be pressing, and you have to press them all in the right order, in the right way, and every error you make is going to leave a mark. It's going to leave a scar. You're a little Frankenstein. It's going to be dependent on you tap dancing just the fuck right. Not only genetically, but of course through whatever years of maturation, to make this thing at all, to have any hope even, of productive and or happy, to get to either one of those goals. And often those two goals will not have anything to do with each other. It's going to be hard work to be productive, and it's going to be hard sadistic assholery to be happy. And this trite conversation about an experiment the human race has over and over and over again demonstrated it doesn't have the competence to perform without leaking all kinds of radiation. Again, if I take generic, average, the human being on Earth, and I give you a little profile from baby to death, and you see it in a little cartoon evolution way, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be fat and crippled, and then dead. And you're talking, oh yeah, yeah, do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's fun. I know it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. From White Couch Land. So anyway, that's why it's just sitting in my head going, oh, fuck. I mean, I hate to say it. Oh, yes, you're cute, but you're dumb as fucking mud. Or something brown.
Humans aren't just necessarily doing the best things on the earth, but I wouldn't say...
Oh, yeah, yeah. So what? I have a white couch, so no problems here. No worries. No worries. No worries.
That I want us as a species to die out, because life is...
Oh, yeah, because life is life, and it's lifey, and it's full of life, and it's all lifey and lifey. It's like the bullfight. I love the little uniform and the funny little hat, and the whoosh and the crowd roars. Ooh. It's so important to do more of that. Woo! Crowds roaring. Woo! 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 Oh, fuck. Fuck.
It's a gift, and if anything, we just want to make it...
Oh, it's a gift. Oh, yes, of course. It's such a vegan way to look at it, yeah. Yeah, like I said, especially now. I mean, come on, humans haven't been of less value than at any point in human history, just about. Especially to each other. Well, look, we did this whole genome thing, the whole evolution thing, this whole fantasy game that you're doing something bigger is gone. So all you're really doing is eating and pooing and fucking for silly, stupid little psychological reasons. It's really over.
Better and better and better and better, and I do think...
Oh yeah, the better and better, and I do think so, and I love that. That's what... You know, when you sit in a white couch, that's how you get all brain fucking dead. It's like, you know, funny they have all this money and she didn't fix her teeth. I mean, not that they're bad, but yeah.
Humans can come back and actually do good in the world.
Like what? Do what? What? Another Disneyland? Make double Disneyland? Is that it? Okay, what is that the big accomplishment? Double Disneyland? What good? What? The greatest things human beings have done throughout human history is come up with remedies for the worst things that happen in the biological world, like penicillin or something. Those are the great things. And then the other stuff are trivial and stupid in a way. I mean, once you're past it, you know, once you're past the unknown, oh, we don't know if the moon's made of cheese. Then we find out, oh no, it's made of dirt. No white couches allowed on the moon. I mean, you know, I mean, silly, trite. I mean, what, you really think it's all going to work out just fine? Your kid's not going to get any terminal diseases or have any horrid, terrible conditions. And what's your plan if it does? Well, what? I'll just keep a bunch of yellow paint in the kitchen. Yellow goes with the white. And just paint smiley faces on his tumors. Fuck.
But the only way that's going to happen really is for more conscious people to be brought onto this earth.
Oh, geez. You think that's the way it works, huh? Conscious people are just hatched out of eggs. You know. I mean, you know, just deny reality altogether, okay? And that in free societies, people don't come out the way their parents wish them to, okay? They almost come out the exact opposite because the parent somewhere hits the wrong one of the buttons, right? The 1,000 buttons, and they fuck it up. They don't dance the right tune. They dance the jig when they were supposed to do the twist. and the kid hates their fucking guts and rebels against everything they stand for and blah 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 blah. I mean, I wonder, are you going to be a white coucher?
So telling people to stop breeding altogether is really not the answer. What?
It's the simplest answer. Get over it. Stop putting your matador suit on and just forget about it, okay? Find something else rational to do with yourself. Yes, find some stupid, silly project that doesn't have to do with sticking knives in things and causing pain and suffering and totally unnecessarily. Minimize your fucking blights on the planet. Yeah, good idea.
I suggest the answer is that we actually help the areas that are having a problem with overpopulation, because...
Oh yes, you're helping. White couch production really, really helps poor people. I've heard that all the, it sounds like a valid theory that the more white couches you make, the more starving people in Africa have a life. Yeah, sorry. I don't really think so.
They're uneducated on what...
Oh, yes, and look who's talking. I mean, apparently you have no concept of psychological superficiality, triviality, and the inability to consciously recognize practical reality in terms of understanding any kind of risk equation. You buy lottery tickets for fun, right?
Real on the impact that they're having on the planet when they have a child, and they're uneducated about the responsibility that it really, really takes. And plus, they have...
Oh, gee, that and you are. You understand the responsibility, the fact that there is every probability that it won't turn out as good as you hope. Every probability that it won't come out as good as you hope. And that you must, if you're to be fair, consider the fact that that's a problem. That your hope that it will be pretty enough, or athletic enough, or healthy enough, or all this, the enoughs, that you have your little image of your little gold medal winning spawnette, is everything's going to turn out okay, and that hope is unrealistic. And that's basically 2 + 2 math to recognize that your hopes aren't something to be building with. You don't build out of hope.
No birth control, no contraception over there. So yes, they are having sex and they're just having children. And those are the children that don't have a home, and they are...
No, they're just as ignorant as you are, okay? They're not having kids by accident. They're having them because they have as trivial and superficial an attitude as you, is that, oh, it's no big dealy, blah, 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 let me just, buy a white couch.
Our problem. Harley's right when he says that. That is the whole planet's problem. We need to help them in order to really make change.
Right. So all this big talk about, okay, well, but we can do all this, we can fix all that, we can stop having wars, and then we can spend all the money on these, give these people more, and then they'll not recklessly reproduce. That's not what happens in the world. It isn't.
Into the world.
I mean, she brought up Japan before. She couldn't even get that one right. Is that the crisis isn't that they've stopped growing in population. The crisis is the whole idea of creating an economic systems that are dependent on growth. Growth is unsustainable. We do live on a little blue ball in space, and all the other balls are really hard to live on. So, I mean, realistically, unsustainable growth is called a disease. And you have to do something about it. We've had centuries to do something about it, and no one does anything practical about it except make trite, silly videos saying, just don't pay any attention to that. Somehow your needs are valid. Everybody can have exactly what they want, and it doesn't, so no biggie. You're just saying be a taker from the vegan perspective.
That are watching this video and actually taking something from it are probably most likely vegans, and I don't think we should be influencing the conscious people to not breed, because really
the conscious people already, factually, I think, if you're if there's no way, you don't become understanding or you don't recognize the pain of just even the good life, of life itself, all right, and manage to say, be vegan for the right reason, to be vegan because it's an obnoxious assault against the sensibilities of sensitive creatures, tormenting and eating them. In fact, you have to even explain that. But it's just as obvious as that fact, the fact that you should find something else to entertain yourself. You shouldn't be making your Disney World out of the bones of babies. Having children is a selfish indulgence if you want to have them. That's what want means. And if you do want that, you basically want to do something like eat fried chicken. Yum yum. And just fuck the fact of what you know the risk entails and what is inevitably going to happen if everybody thinks your way. Chicken farm.
Really, we should be influencing the unconscious people to not breed. The people that just do it out of pressure. The people that just have children.
And who does it out of anything other than psychotic? Like I said, who puts the Matador suit on for any other reason than a stupid reason? There's no good reason to wear that crap. And there's no good reason to think you're competent to create human lives and be responsible for pressing 1,000 buttons when you don't know button 1 from button 15.
For no real reason, because they just feel like they should, and they're not really aware of the responsibilities that it actually takes.
Right, exactly, and you are somehow, and you think vegans are somehow competent to press all these buttons. I mean, the very idea that you'd want to raise a kid in a world hostile to your own values, that you would be sitting there saying to the kid, well, look, there's these other animals on Earth, and they suffer and die in this horrible thing called nature, and we can't do anything about that. But we can do something about just overtly torturing them. And most of the people, though, they don't think that way, and they like to torture animals because it tastes good. Yeah, you want the fun of telling your child that most of the people on Earth are psychotic, insensitive bastards. And now go play with them. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't get that.
Yeah. So the second point that Harley really talk about is adoption. That they're saying that we should all be adopting instead of...
No, we shouldn't do any of this. We should all be saying, just find something to do with yourself, find some better kind of butt plug to satisfy your insatiable, stupid, idiotic desires, and just try not to cause any trouble. Just don't make this fucking mess any goddamn fucking worse, especially if you don't have the brains to make an argument or put a chain of logic together to actually explain why you think any of this shit is important, besides the fact of trying to prevent torture, that it should probably be our #1 priority. Prevent torture. Get a white couch or prevent torture. Which one should I do? Yeah, if you can't figure that out, then you're just goddamn too stupid. And you should self-cage yourself. Self-cage yourself. What do they call that when the dogs with the little pens or whatever? Yeah, you put yourself in your safe place where you can't do any harm and shit the fucking goddamn couch.
Having our own children, because then there's 100 million orphans out there that need a home, and that is totally right.
What they needed somebody before they were born to say something besides the tripe you're saying. They need somebody to tell their parents to mind their own goddamn business and quit living on hope and quit pretending you're competent to do something incredibly dangerous. Because you're not.
We need to be adopting more. However, here in Australia is one of the hardest countries to adopt, and it can take up to 10 years to get a child.
Oh, yeah, blah, 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 sure. Guess what? I don't even believe that. Okay, I think that's a pile of shit. 10 years. Oh, I don't think so. I think you just showed them a picture of your white couch, and I'm sure they'll give you a little baby to twiddle with. Fuck. What a pile of shit.
If you're accepted. Now, me as a vegan, I'm very little chance that I'm going to be accepted.
Another preposterous, made-up pile of shit. Do you have any evidence whatsoever that anyone has ever been denied the privilege of adoption because they were a vegan with a pretty white couch? I mean, it's just, you just made that up.
Just for being vegan, because that's seen as unhealthy and damaging to the child.
Oh, yes, right, sure. Sure it is. Sure. I don't believe you. I really just don't believe you.
Anyway, that's another topic.
Yes, preposterously made up statistics. Yes, it always is another subject. The other subject. Yes, it's always out there, though, the preposterously made up statistics.
So it would be really hard for me to adopt, and let alone...
It would be hard, yeah. You really think so? Is that how you think the world actually works? That little pretty pussy shows up with the little name Bonnyrebecca, and the cruel, horrible world won't give her a little baby to twiddle-twaddle with? Oh, fuck you. I don't think so. I mean, they ought to let's do the sting operation. Let's have two different styles of humans show up and see which one has more success. Little Bonnyrebecca or Uglana Fatty Bestinky. Yeah, let's see.
Being a vegan, I also have a job online on YouTube selling an ebook, and it's just...
Selling a book, is he? She's selling a book. I mean, the world is just, she has a job. Vegan recipe book. Oh. See, again, it's just this vogue veganism. It's just so irritating. There are literally 1,000,000 foods. 1,698,448 things that you can eat that are vegan. I don't need no fucking recipe, bitch. I mean, that really, it's just like toast recipes. I mean, if all there was bread, it's quite a good food, actually. But that's all there was, is bread and water. We really need bread recipes. I mean, come on. You figure it out. I mean, see, you're just also high motherfucking maintenance. You can't even, don't be cruel without having Smucker's jam smeared on it, or without having it taste or look or feel like a hamburger. I mean, that's how superficial your give a shit about anything is you're like, well, if my veganism doesn't have enough flavor, I have to flavor my don't doing torture. If there's not enough fun in it for me, fuck it. I mean, it just kind of insults the cause. It's like being against bullfighting or matadors because you don't like the color red. I mean, it's kind of a silly reason to be against it.
Not seen as a real job or a real career, and it's not seen as sustainable for having a child, even though it very well might be.
Yeah, I might be able to make lots of money, and if I have to, I can just show my boobs and such. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, yes, you're a mover and a shaker. You're going, girl. So super cool for you. Just great. But who are you talking to? You're talking a bunch of loser, twatty, hopeless, twit-brained twatophiles. Silly people without white couches or any kind of infrastructure, and you're just doing this pro-baby bullshit. So, I mean, you're just a propagandist for doom. I mean, you are the fucking, it's always this, it just seems this way, right? I mean, the people that get a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, and they become even more dangerous than the dumb people. Because they start giving the dumb people licenses. They start making excuses for the poor. Fuck. Alright, I don't think I need, well, let's do a little tiny bit more, and then we'll just say fuck it. You be from Venus, and I be from sanity.
I'm going to try to adopt, but it's just there's definitely no guarantee that I'm going to get a child. So
Well, then why are you making this video? You're going to try to adopt. You don't personally want to have a child. You just want to propagandize in defense of children. Having babies, doing the experiment, creating life forms for which somebody's going to have to say, stop being cruel, stop beating that child, stop abusing that child. So you want to just make more of the problem. What, you want to make more tortured animals so there can be more vegans? And again, you people don't even come close to even getting it, okay? Oh, I don't personally cause any tortured animals, but I don't personally do a fucking thing for all the animals right now that are going to fall out of a tree from polio or something. You're not doing anything to save them from the horrors of the natural world. Nothing. White couches ain't gonna do it. No fucking. It ain't gonna comfort the poor wildebeest getting dragged into the fucking pond by the crocodile. All this bullshit. This pro-life crap.
So saying go and adopt a baby is all well and good, but for most people, especially vegans, it's just not going to happen.
Oh, what? I mean, this is just such propaganda. The poor, oh, I've been so abused for my veganism. And again, the irony of it. You want to have a child. You want to actually have a conversation with a child where you explain how I live in this human, wonderful society full of human beings, but 99% of them think I'm crazy and think I'm a fool because I actually give a fuck whether you torture animals. And you want to have that conversation with a child. That's fun for you. To explain to a child how, hey, guess what? You've been brought into a shithole, and I'm going to give you Trideisms to fight with. You know, you'll need little swords and shields for the battle. Well, here's some made out of, you know, tissue paper. Pink tissue paper. Shit. Alright, now I think we're done. I mean, it is fun, you know, blah, 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 blah. She is cute, blah, 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 but there's no point in drawing it out. I've probably made all the points I need to make. Having kids is an insanely stupid, selfish indulgence. It can't make any logical sense. If 9 out of 10, I mean, you're just drawing straws, and some kids might be yours is going to get that shitty straw of hell. So you're imposing hell by saying, let's play the game. It's that simple. Even if you're lucky, that's all you can be, is lucky, you stupid cunts. You're just torture imposers for a frivolous, stupid, silly notion of matadorly. I'm a matador in your head. That's all it is. It is as trivial and as unnecessary and as superficial as all the pretense around the slaughter of the bull in the arena. That's what child rearing is. It's a sadistic activity done by people with silly sensibilities.